Hello, everybody. The Warriors got a much-needed win against Philadelphia. Coach Nick Nurse pulled out a surprise 2-3 zone, and thanks to Jonathan Kuminga, the Warriors were able to counter that defense to blow open the game. You can tell it's a zone defense because defenders don't stay with a single player assignment. Buddy Hield, right now he's guarded by this defender, but as he cuts through, this defender passes him off in order to stay in this area and defend this zone. Also, zones have a distinctive shape. You can see there's 3 zones in the back and 2 zones in the front. So this is called a 2-3 zone. This zone takes the Warriors by surprise. This play looks like it was supposed to be the twirl play that we've covered in previous videos, where Buddy Hield steps up to set this back screen, and then he loops around and gets another screen for a catch and shoot up here. But because the Sixers are playing a zone, there's no defender, so it's kind of confusing what to do. And Buddy says, heck, it doesn't bother me as long as I get to catch and shoot. So he continues the play and misses an open 3. After a time stoppage, the Warriors regroup. I like the off-ball movement in this play. Buddy Hield is going to use this screen. Now we have 2 attackers in this 1 defender zone, which means this defender is going to have to follow. Jonathan Kuminga started off in this far corner, but now he's going to drift up. This lower left man has to follow Kaminga up. But now the shape of this 2-3 zone is completely messed up. There's the 2, there's the 3. Trayce Jackson-Davis goes right into the soft middle of the zone, and Moody drifts right into the open corner. This defender has to close out hard. That leaves Kaminga open. Moody with a quick find. Kaminga attacks the closeout. Now he's in the vulnerable middle of the zone. Embiid has to rotate to stop Kaminga from dunking, which means the corner defender has to guard Trayce under the basket, which means Dennis Schröder can pop out. Kaminga with a very alert find.
You're right about the limit that you would consider your defense being effective for a quarter, 26. Anything more than that, and you need some work.
Schröder from beyond the arc.
The Warriors counterattack very quickly. The ball doesn't even bounce. Look at all of the Sixers defenders pointing and yelling out to switch defensive assignments. You usually want Embiid to be in the middle of the 2-3 zone, but instead he has to follow Moody. Trayce Jackson-Davis cuts to the soft middle of the zone. In theory, he could now have an isolation mismatch against this defender, but instead Moses Moody lifts up to the wing. Joel Embiid is definitely not used to guarding this corner of the zone, and he doesn't follow Moody. This defender has his head on a swivel, and not in a good way. He's trying to decide whether to cover Moody or Dennis, and that leaves Moody very open for a 3.
Shot clock winding down on Yabusele, who takes it all the way to the cup. Great first quarter for Yabu.
Yeah, Kaminga not strong enough to contend with him. Go right at his chest, back him down. Nice little layup from about 1 to 2 feet.
Here's Moses Moody launching and connecting.
The very next play, JK attacks fast. Because of his speed, he has to be picked up by the smaller defender. JK charges right into the defender, trying to force Downton to pick him up. Trayce Jackson-Davis again cuts into the soft middle of the zone, but JK instead decides to just back down the smaller Downton. This forces Embiid to drift out of the middle, lest JK dunk Downton in the basket. This finally turns into a full-on trap. I really like how Kaminga handles this trap. Trayce Jackson-Davis cuts straight to the basket. Council here tries to split the difference by deterring a pass to TJD, but also being in position to stop a pass out to the corner. Kaminga first looks for the pass for Trayce. That's not there. Second checkoff is Buddy Hield in the corner, who's completely open, and JK jumps out of bounds to get a slightly better angle and just get the ball past the defender, and this is clean. Nice playmaking from JK, nice pace. The most important thing the Warriors can figure out this year is whether they can build around Kaminga in the future and whether Kaminga can play with Steph. And this game featured a lot of good decision making from JK. Let's wrap up with the celebration audit. So last video I carefully analyzed the geopolitics of the bench celebrators. We had 2 members of the Kyle Anderson 3 Catapults faction, which I dubbed the Trey Boucher group. And then we had 3 members of what I had been calling the 3 Ice in My Veins caucus, or the Thrice in My Veins. And you had wildcard independents like Pat Spencer. And one commenter said, hey, this celebration is the Freeze celebration. Now, I had resisted this idea for two reasons. First of all, it just doesn't look like the classical Freeze celebration. So the Freeze celebration was invented by our guy, Dennis, back with the Lakers. Now, a lot of people think that it's a variant of D'Angelo Russell's I've got ice in my veins celebration, and they do look kind of similar. However, the metaphors are completely different. For ice in my veins, you are saying, I just wanted to share the information that my blood is ice cold. And the Freeze celebration was invented by Dennis, inspired by Lakers coach Damon Jones, who would reveal his winning hand of cards, dramatically yelling, freeze, Miami Vice. So the whole metaphor is that you're showing a Miami Vice badge and you're telling the random perpetrators to freeze. So that means ice in my veins should be pointing towards some kind of vein, usually in the forearm, and freeze has to involve showing a badge. Here's Austin Reeves doing the freeze celebration. The offhand is in the upper arm, and the lower hand is clearly brandishing a badge. So objection one is that this celebration just does not look like a classical freeze celebration. Objection two is that the freeze celebration used to be associated with the Lakers. And I'm sorry, the Warriors are just not going to adopt a Lakers celebration. In fact, Steve Kerr banned the freeze celebration from Team USA when he was coaching for this exact reason.
That Dennis brought to the team, the freeze, he told me, he was like, you cannot do that in the USA. He's like, I've seen it too many times in the playoffs, and I'm sick of seeing it.
However, after I made the video, Dennis Schröder made this Instagram story, which is the exact same celebration that I had been analyzing, and he is claiming that they're all doing the freeze celebration. Okay, it's a bit of a stretch to put Pat in the freeze gang, but I'm willing to concede that Santos, Buddy Hield, and Lindy all consider themselves in the freeze gang. And I guess it's not just a Lakers celebration anymore. Just the same way that ice in my veins is no longer a Lakers celebration. Dennis took it to his next stop, Toronto. Here's Scotty Barnes doing his version. Notice the nice underhand badge technique. Which brings us to the Sixers game. Dennis is going to hit a three-pointer and goes into the modern freeze. And then let's zoom in to see how the bench responds. Let's do a quick vote tally. Buddy Hield doing the modern freeze. Lindy Waters, I like how he's going low with the underhand classic freeze. And Santos really miming this beautifully. You really believe he's holding a badge there. And Moody coming through. He has joined the freeze gang. And Looney with his super low underhand classical freeze. Jonathan Kuminga also pulling out the freeze on the sideline here. And Kyle Anderson also, folks, the leader of the opposition has caved and he is now caucusing with the freeze gang. The only holdout I can see is Pat Spencer. Is he going to continue to represent an alternative to the freeze consensus? There he is holding out with a elegant European three. Very demure, very mindful. But oh, look what he's doing with his lower hand. He is pivoting straight into the classic underhand freeze celebration. This is a landslide, folks. Congratulations, Dennis. You have succeeded in bench celebration unification. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And if you didn't enjoy this video, I promise I'll do better next time.